Alex, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be partnering with you and Tori here as you guys build Thoughtly, and really appreciate the time that you're taking to kind of share a little bit more about your viewpoint of Thoughtly as well as the broader voice AI market. So maybe to that point, if maybe we want to start at the beginning of how you and Tori first met, and as you guys kind of came up with the idea and vision for Thoughtly, and now actually executing on it.
Yeah, so thanks for having me, Anthony. I appreciate that. Tori and I actually met at a bar through a mutual connection.
Okay.
So when we met, we like discovered right away that our visions align, and that we have very similar philosophy and approaches to how we solve problems, how we think about the future of AI, about tech. So yeah, we decided very quickly to work together.
Yeah. So the vision kind of coming up with Thoughtly and now actually having executed against that for the last couple of years and looking where the company is today, kind of what that's been like.
Yeah, so initially Thoughtly was was an interview platform, and eventually pivoted to voice because we discovered that that is a bigger and stronger market. I actually originally joined Thoughtly as the head of engineering. So my journey is a little bit unique.
Yeah.
So I originally joined as the head of engineering. 6 months after that, I became a co-founder. 6 months after that, I became the CTO. And then 6 months after that, as of like a month ago, I took over as the head of product as
Certain
well.
interval of 6 months. So this
I
lucky timing.
I like new challenges, and I'm always looking to do what's most effective and efficient for the company. At this point, I think it's great for us to have a single person at the helm of product and engineering to basically lead R&D. That increases our velocity, our speed, our execution, performance. So happy to do all of that for us.
That's awesome. And so maybe zooming out a little bit and thinking about like the macro landscape of voice AI and AI kind of as a whole, we'd love to kind of get your perspective as kind of one of the leading technologists here in the sector, and kind of what you're seeing and what Thoughtly is building too.
Thank you for calling me. That's like I see. I do think of myself as a technologist at heart. I love tech, and I love futuristic tech.
Hmm.
Love building products that changes the world in some way. I think AI is extremely powerful, and we're still just tapping, the potential of it. Compared to this time last year, language models have gone so far, have made so much improvements. Because we rely on language models significantly for figuring out where a caller is in that broader conversation, and also to figure out what kind of conversation response to generate.
Yeah.
And I've audited thousands of calls myself, and I can see the quality steadily increasing. So I'm extremely bullish on that, and and I think voice AI in particular has a lot of areas that has been untouched.
Yeah.
That would truly, once solved, would truly make AI agents more powerful and do a lot more for humans.
And forgive the pun, but there's a lot of noise in the voice AI space. What specifically differentiates Thoughtly against some of the other companies and startups that are in this area?
Yeah, so voice AI platforms, in my opinion, are generally can be horizontal. They could work for many industries, many sectors, many different types of use cases. So I think the important thing is not to chase after every shiny object, but rather to identify customer needs and identify patterns across customers, across sectors,
Yeah.
industries, and then go really deep into them. Be the best at doing certain things in certain areas. Build deep integrations, build great relationships, and execute there, and not sit at the surface level.
Can you speak a little bit to some of the integrations and some of the features that you guys incorporate today?
Yeah, so one thing that we have noticed is it's extremely important for companies to really understand how their product, how Thoughtly is performing. So we have built and are continuing to build deeper product analytics integrations, where like customers don't have to like pull data manually from their own CRM to check the results of like Thoughtly's performance. We are allowing them to do that in our platform.
Yeah.
We are building deeper integrations with CRMs that are traditionally like not super easy to integrate with, such as like Salesforce, for customers to update objects and whatever, do these things, and really like truly also understand who their customers are. So we're doing some of that data enrichment as well, which unlocks a bunch of other potential channels as well.
And one of the things that really impressed us when we were doing our diligence on Thoughtly was some of the integrations, for example, with Salesforce, which so many other, I know of your like end customers rely on as their CRM CRM system for it to just simply be almost like a toggle on. It's a pre-integration that immediately allows them to continue to use Thoughtly in their existing software stack. And then I know that you guys also have an integration with Calendly. And so it's what else kind of on the integration front, or if you think broadly about like the product roadmap, do you want to incorporate into the Thoughtly platform?
There are more. Some of them I don't know if we can discuss like publicly yet because they're so exciting. Um, but I would say even on the calendar booking system, there's also cal.com, there's Calendly, there's like HubSpot, there's like scheduling systems like from many different angles. And then on the CRM side, there's like Smart Sheets, there's again HubSpot,
Yep.
Salesforce, Google Sheets. There are a lot of these, and I think what's important is truly like finding patterns of what customers need and targeting those and just do that really, really, really well. But yeah, that's there are a lot of things happening.
Yeah, and kind of to that point, I know, I forget if it was a year or a few years back, you wrote a white paper talking about some of the advancements in the voice AI space. Maybe if you want to share a little bit more specifically about that paper and kind of like your thoughts of where the entire sector is kind of heading.
For sure. So we do inbound and outbound calls. Inbound and outbound calls are quite different in nature, whereas like generally speaking, inbound is more like customer support, more triaging. Outbound can be things like lead activation or right like that sort of like filtering out leads and filtering out callers before you transfer them to a human. So these use cases are different. And when use cases are different, the types of conversations that are typically had are also different. And because of that, we started thinking about, do everything have to be determined by a language model for like where you have to go next in this like decision tree that the agent is making, right? And if you don't have to rely on a language model, which by the way is also a latency cost. There's a latency cost there to make the API calls. If you don't have to rely on a language model, can you do it some other way, such as perhaps a mathematical approach? Because if you know generally that what the caller may say and what are the few responses that would be appropriate and what are the confidence threshold for each of them, then you can do some calculation and you can do some clever like semantic similarity comparison, what the caller said to the next possible path that you can go down. And then you can also do a hybrid approach of using that plus a language model. Perhaps you can have a confidence threshold for when to go down a certain path, and if you're not sure, then use a language model as a judge to decide. So that's what that paper was about, is this novel approach, which has a lot broader applications too, because some industries such as like banking or finance are a bit more strict in their conversations, where they're almost like a IVR system, and some aren't, right? So if you're doing outbound sales, then that conversation can go anywhere, so this is not suitable.
Yeah.
But the key is to think outside of the box and identify all these different alternative solutions that could optimize how we handle calls.
And in the world of AI, I know the war for talent is extremely fierce. Could you talk a little bit about what you look for when recruiting engineers to join the Thoughtly team?
The war for talent is for sure fierce, and we want to work with the best people. We are also hiring, and we have a culture where we expect everyone to be smart, hardworking, humble, and collaborative and quick learners, right? Like people should be coming in here to be motivated, wanting to make a difference in this world, because what we are building is truly the next generation for businesses and for humans. So that's exciting, and we want people to be excited. Now, there are plenty of smart people and there are plenty of great companies in New York. So for us, I think approaching candidates with a genuine sort of curiosity about like what motivates them, what are they looking for, and then seeing if this is like a good match for both of us.
Yeah.
And also just be transparent upfront and say this is not an easy job. We're going to work very, very hard, but we will treat you well, and you will learn a ton. If you're someone who loves learning and personal growth, then you should come. You should consider working with us. Yeah.
That's no, that's amazing to hear. And as you mentioned, as part of this fundraise, you're looking to continue to expand the engineering team. Is there any specific positions that kind of pop out or come to mind that you specifically are recruiting for now?
Yeah, so we are hiring across the world for full stack developers. Our tech stack is some are JavaScript, TypeScript, Golang. We deploy to hyperscalers across the world, so we're looking for people with DevOps skills. Yeah, we have a lot of needs. So if someone is smart and can learn quickly. Even if they don't know the languages that we use, that's okay.
Yeah.
I believe in people. I bet on people.
Makes total sense. And you've also mentioned kind of what the platform has become at Thoughtly. Could you talk a little bit more about how, as the call volume and number of calls have continued to ramp up month over month, you've had to scale the platform to be able to continue to keep up with sales and the fast pace of the company's growing?
Absolutely. So my team and I have been hard at work making sure that we keep up with the demands of the customer. I think this is a great problem to have. It's always a great problem when people want to use your platform and want to use your product. Yeah. So what we do is we get the estimates from the sales front, and then we make sure that our platform can handle the load, because it's also extremely important for us to hold up our end of the bargain for any customers that we bring on. We don't want anyone to be set up for failure. We want them to make calls comfortably with trust. So we've done a number of different things. We've added a ton of servers around the world. We've added databases. We've added replication. We've optimized our code. We have brought our queuing system, our scheduling system in-house, and we're now like doing a bunch of those things, those queues in parallel. And we're also looking for like different vulnerabilities, security improvements as we're doing that. So yeah, a lot of interesting technical problems to solve.
And maybe to that point, I know that Thoughtly has continued to move more to the enterprise segment of the market. Could you talk about some of the certifications that you guys have been able to achieve for the platform that's made enterprises comfortable working with you?
Absolutely. So we're certified in HIPAA, we're certified in SOC 2. We are working on GDPR right now.
And I asked Tori some fast questions kind of at the end, both business related and non-business related. So I'll do the same for you. For New York, I know that you've been here now for 5 or 6 years?
About 5 years.
5 years. What's your favorite or go-to restaurant spot?
Ooh, that's a great question. It depends what cuisine you're talking about. But since we both have some Italian heritage,
So, yeah.
I would say my favorite Italian spot is Piccola Cucina
Okay.
in Soho.
Yeah.
I love their pasta. It's well made. I love their calamari dish. They bring out like a huge plate of fried calamari.
That's a great spot.
Yeah. Have you been?
I have actually, yeah. We did a team on-site there one time
Oh,
for a
beautiful.
dinner, so it was a great way to cap the evening. Within Thoughtly, what has been kind of your proudest or achievement that you've had at the company?
Wow, great questions. I know you said these are fast questions, but I need to think about this a little bit more. There's so many things happening at a startup like this. I would say every week there's some win that I'm proud of, not just on the product and engineering side, but also on the sales side, on the go-to-market side. There are wins everywhere. I'm just proud of how far this team has come.
Yeah.
Right? At some point, we only had 2 engineers that were serving thousands of customers, and now we are a little bit bigger and we're set up for success. So I guess I'm just really proud of the journey that we've gone.
Yeah, it's very cool even to witness it secondhand and see the team grow and the immense amount of improvements that you guys have all made. Not including Thoughtly, what is your favorite AI tool?
I love quite a few AI tools. So Cloud is great for coding. Codex is also very good. Yeah, these AI coding tools, man, they're amazing.
Yeah. What's your prediction of where the voice AI market will be a year from now?
I think the voice AI market is going to have more human-like voices, truly human-like, right? Where it's almost impossible for people to tell if they're speaking to a human or a AI. I think that will come within the next year. Yeah, I think that will come within the next year.
Do you think that'll be like lower latency, like compared to where it is today, or what do you think? What is kind of like the tweaks that we need to get there?
It has to be lower latency because every single vendor of ours also is decreasing their latency over time, so that overall aggregated latency cost is going down, and we're also making optimizations. I think the important thing is like stay up to date with the market, with what's happening, and always be willing and be open to test out new like features, new tools. We built our orchestration platform, right? We're orchestrating speech to text, language model, text to speech, and there's a certain pride that we take in having built all of that. But I think it's important to keep an open mind. So say if a speech to speech model comes out that is better than what we have, then we'll be willing to give it a shot and not be emotionally attached to what we have already built. I think broader market perspective is also that there will be more emotions incorporated into like voice AI, more emotion detection, more emotional like responses. The tones and the pitches will be more human-like. I think there will also be a greater emphasis on memory across calls, across like just agents.
Yeah.
All very exciting things.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
We asked Tori, if you were no longer allowed to work in the tech sector, what would you be doing?
If I was no longer allowed to work in the tech sector, Did I already make it at this point? Where like, do I still have to worry about money like
Tomorrow.
day to
Yeah,
day?
yeah, just tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. All right. I do have to think about the responsibilities I have to other people, such as like how sad my mother would be if I was just like on the street. So,
Or it could be maybe that's not that you're destitute, but more that you just can't work in tech. You could do
okay, I think what I would do is I would go be a professional athlete.
professional athlete.
I think I'll pick a sport and just go train very hard and go be the one of the best people in the world at doing that sport. I think I'll find a lot of fulfillment in the team aspect of that. So it has to be a team sport and just find fulfillment in winning.
What's top of mind for sports?
I am not good at soccer, but I think I would love to check out soccer. I know I'm like, I don't know, being 6 foot is too short for professional
You don't
basketball.
have to tell me that. So
I mean, no, you're good, man. Neither of us are gonna make that. I could also do tennis. Tennis would be a fun sport, but it's not a team sport.
yeah. So Alex, another question, as you talked about some of the AI tools that you guys use, what do you expect the developer output to be now that they have this enhanced capabilities?
So what I like to see is every developer should be using cloud, should be using Codex, whatever tool that they want to use that makes them more productive to ultimately make them, I would say, 3 to 5x more productive than before. With myself, I notice I can get that 3 to 5x improvement for my productivity. So I think if any developer that works on my team is not reaching that 3 to 5x post AI, then they don't belong on this team.
Just really want just the best of the best in terms of talent.
Sure. And also people who know how to ask questions, how to prompt AI. It's really as powerful as how you imagine it to be. So your limit is all your own imagination.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to end it. That was all the questions that I had. Thank you again for hosting me at you guys' office. And again, myself, the whole Armory team, and I know the rest of the investors are very excited to be part of you and Tori and the broader team's journey here with Thoughtly.
Likewise, I'm extremely excited for our partnership. And yeah, thanks for coming.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool.